Welcome to the Purple Pill Podcast. I'm your host, Robert. I'm here with my co-host, Darren, and my co-host, LA. We just want to get started on some topics off rip. Let's just talk about the white storm in the Capitol.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and I'm gonna let you start off. I know you got a lot of things you need to talk about.
So the Trump supporters that stormed the Capitol, that was crazy.
Go ahead and talk to them.
That was crazy. So we're just gonna start off with obviously our main topic. You should be fired, all right? So obviously the people who
all of them there. Take them all out into the streets and let them all be fired upon. What kind of dumb shit was this there? If near one of them niggas was black or any other minority, it would have been shot, sniped, they would have been set on fire.
Preach.
They would have never made it that nowhere.
They would have never made it near the barricades. These motherfuckers came with ladders. They put ladders on the Capitol and walked up in that bitch.
They came with guns. They came with guns and bombs. What were they thinking?
That's a sign of war, Darren.
That's clearly a sign. And here's the thing, bro. Like I saw one guy's like, man, I'm trying to be patriotic. I'm like, if Trump don't win, if we don't keep Trump in office, I'm trying to be patriotic. I would die in these boots where I stand. I was like, my God, yo, this is like the most unpatriotic thing y'all could possibly do. Am I wrong?
No, preach. We look like a joke to the world. We look like an actual joke to the world.
When you say that, right? I know back in when the civil rights movement happened, when they actually went on Capitol Hill, no, not Capitol Hill, in front of the Lincoln Memorial, Martin Luther King. So when they did that, they threatened to do that multiple years before, and JFK just didn't want it to happen, so he kept on giving them certain things. But then eventually, it just finally happened. The reason why he didn't want that to happen is because he thought we would look weak to other countries. We wasn't nuclear like how we have our weapons now. So if it looked weak to other countries, they would use that to divide us. And if they divided us, it would be a problem. Now, every other country sees us divided, and it's just really messed up. We still got a superpower in weapons, but
I didn't even think about it from that perspective. I just thought about it from a sheer racist, from a sheer hateful place. This just to me showed where the hierarchy stood in America. This solidified it to me. This solidified, not even looking from outside in. Yeah. How it could look to anybody else, but to us, this was an outrage to me. Like not to wish ill will upon anybody. I'm not saying every one of those people should have been fired upon. Don't take it out of context. Any of these crazy people on the internet. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if it was anybody of a minority status or non-white status, it would have been a whole different story.
To sum it up real quick, here what you're saying. This is how it should be. It should be, if you want to go to the Capitol and protest, cool. The second I don't care who you are. The second you start breaking in and start doing that, I don't care what you are. That's a threat. That's a threat to who's trying to conduct our business as a country. And you can't do that. I don't care who you are. Now, here's the thing about that. Black people can get in there the stairs. White people got in. These people got in. They got in and started stealing shit. We wouldn't get to the stairs. Debatably, we wouldn't get even close enough to the stairs. I'm really being honest. I'm saying if the shit in the summer, Black Lives Matter, if that shit happened and just like that, we wouldn't made it past the stairs. And the craziest thing is, what were they saying? It's not just black people out there protesting Black Lives Matter. You see a lot of white people. You see a lot of Mexican people. You see a lot of, I don't want to say Mexican, Hispanic people. You see a lot of Asian descent people because they're out there and they see this. They see this. So it's but at the same time, nobody's stupid enough, and I gotta say stupid because it's fucking stupid to go in and do some shit like that.
Okay, so question, why? Is that because of this security that is there?
What you mean?
Who is the security that is at this
And they're the
Capitol
people that should
building?
be fired. They're the people that should be fired. Flat out.
Who are they? Is it Secret Service? Is it Army Reserves? Who are these people? Is it police? Who is it? Somebody from the block from Security 69?
It's Capitol Police, right? That's what they said. It's Capitol Police. I don't know.
So these people train for this shit. They
The
supposed to be.
Here's the thing, though. Like, think about the person. Yeah, I'm hearing what you're saying. Think about the person that's like at home. That's like, bro, I thought we were so much more protected than this shit. You telling me I could just walk in there with a bomb because I'm white, and I could have fucked shit up at any point. Like, that is not safe for anybody. Like, we are not. Like, that is not safe. So I don't know.
Like not even us. Like you were saying, outside people, outside entities, foreign powers. How easy would it be for them to do?
Yeah. It's just like security, at least around DC. Okay, so it all comes back to Trump. That's what it comes back to. Like,
Is it because it was an inside job? Was his supporters in the security? Did they let
I
him
don't
in?
know, but I know that it's weird. I can tell you it's weird.
Trump invited them to the Capitol. He told them to come
Yeah.
to take your country back. So they came to try to take their country back. And then he was like, "Oh shit!" And everyone was like, "Oh shit!" It just got out of control.
Oh,
And I'll just take it one step farther than you. They should have been shot dead. They should have been shot fucking dead. It's absolute bullshit that they weren't shot dead. They were shooting rubber bullets at black people protesting. Think about that. Rubber bullets.
And
They're bringing the dogs
that's
out.
their right. They're allowed to. They're allowed to protest. They're allowed to do that shit. You're not allowed to do that.
It's the obvious of two Americas that you live in. And if you don't wake up, if people don't see it at this point, then you're probably racist. Like, I can say that at this point. Like, if you don't see it at this point.
So if you're not openly becoming the solution, are you now the problem? Like to the people who are just doing their job and the people who are doing good police work and the people who are lawyers convicting these people, like are you now part of the issue? Or are you just doing your job?
So here's my thing. If you're not protecting people's freedoms, you're not doing your job in the first place. Because the point of the police is to protect you. No matter what your skin color is, no matter what's wrong with you, the goal of the police is to protect you. Not protect a certain type of people, protect you. That's what we pay taxes for. Because if you want to tell me police aren't protecting me, I want all my taxes back.
I need it in cash.
Or at least tell me I'm paying for a school that I'm about to attend, or a road that I gotta drive through every day. And that pavement, if I promise you, if I see a pothole that year, I'll pay for that shit to be good.
Damn, I forgot what I was about to say.
Nah, but when you say stuff like that, it really makes you think, like, do these people really even know their Bill of Rights? Like, can people really recite their Bill of Rights? Like, I'm not even saying all of the 25 amendments or 26. I don't know how many we're up to at this point, amendments. But can people even name the top 10? Because those top 10, our founding fathers, obviously they probably didn't. Maybe they did or didn't see white people and other people coming to America and being what it is. But it obviously grew with the immigrant shift at the turn of the century earlier, with a whole bunch of Italians, Irish, and other people coming in. So those 10 amendments, amendments, really are your freedom. Like when they wrote those, they were like, "Yo, these are your freedom." That's why when people say you have the right to bear arms, that's right. But that's one part of that particular amendment. People don't read the rest of the Second Amendment. Nobody reads it at all.
The thing is about that, Darren, about the amendments. You gotta think those amendments, those laws weren't written for us. They were written when we were still slaves.
But they
weren't made for us.
But how did they average the thing about America though, they advertised it. The second they won the war, the Revolutionary War, they advertised it. They advertised it before then. They was like, look, you might be a peasant over here. You jump on this boat, get a little bit of money, come over here and buy a little bit of land, just somewhere in Ohio, somewhere in Kentucky. You might have to fight some Indians every once in a while, but you got a gun. You can teach your son how to use a gun. You'll build a village, and you'll own some land, and then you'll have some
Slaves.
land. Yeah,
Slaves.
I hate to say it, yeah, you can have that too. But they advertised that. They advertised America. No matter what happened, no matter where. Because think about it. If you free, if you back then, if you was free, a free African man, and you came over to America, you was free. No, you have to fight for your life. Unless you got the papers, you better keep them papers on you at all times. That's the only way that you can get life.
Shit. And have you seen 12 Years a Slave?
Nah, I don't want to. I already heard about it. I'm good. I don't.
That nigga had his papers on him. He had his papers. Still kidnapped him and sent him back to slavery because he couldn't prove it.
You better have a gun too. Both of them.
I do have a question for you about those Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights were kind of hard, bro. You're telling me you can name the top 10 Bill of Rights?
I can get a good amount of them.
Go.
Bro. I know how to Google.
Yeah.
Those
are
important.
Go.
I can name a good amount of them. The first one is basically all your freedom of expression, protest, speech.
Yeah.
There's also something like writing. I don't know the exact word.
Right to petition the government.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But it's something about.
I got it up.
The reason why is because they beat a country that had a king that was saying, no, you can't do this. We're going to do that. We're going to tax you for no reason. Which is, I think that's another one. I think everybody. I think there's something about that in there, but I don't know which one that would be. Anyway, so that's all your freedoms in your first one. Your second one is your freedom to bear arms, but also it's your right to form a militia. The reason why is that is because they don't ever want the country to get too powerful that it's not for the people. Because at that point, you have the right to form a militia and go against the country, which is messed up, but true. Three.
How's that messed up?
Three, I really don't. You said what?
I said, how's that messed up?
It's not really messed up, but think about what they did at the Capitol. Think about what they did at the Capitol. Damn near formed a militia for Trump. Like, that's damn near what they did. The third one is legal search. I think legal search.
No, that's wrong.
Ooh.
It's kind of a hard one. I remember learning this in school.
Throw this one at me then.
It's housing soldiers. You don't protection against housing soldiers. So back in I think it was I don't know if it was England or the Civil War. They used to force you to have soldiers in your house during the war. You would have to feed them and shit and have them sleep in your house. You got to take care of them. We have the right to not do that. They can't do that shit.
Third Amendment? That's
yeah.
The full Third Amendment.
Yeah, it says protection against housing soldiers in civilian homes.
That's crazy. Okay. That's cool.
But imagine if you had no say and some soldier knocking on your door and say, "Hey, bro, I need a bet." You had to keep feed them and everything.
Bro, I'm American, bro. You better get out of my house. Bro, I'm an American soldier, bro. I told you, bro, I'm American. I need to pull out this Third Amendment.
That's crazy though. Back then, just some dude who was just in the war be like, "Yo, let me in." You let him in. You get some porridge, some whatever.
Don't quote me. That might have been. Don't quote me. I'm not sure if that was in England or if that was the Civil War they made because of that.
No, these 10 were done before. Yeah, they were the original. These are your Bill of Rights, your legit Bill of Rights. The fourth one is
Homie would just do your daughter and dip. You know, that'd be wild.
Shit.
Oh, wow.
What is the fourth? Don't tell me. I know this one.
Oh, you already said this one.
The one I said before. What did I just say though?
You was talking about
What did I think it was?
Bear Arms?
Nah, before that. After that, man. What did I say, Rob?
You said seizure.
Oh,
I'm sorry, my fault. Search and seizure.
You just said that.
Protection against issuing warrants against without probable cause. So basically, protection against people searching your house, and protection with they have to have a warrant to search your house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You was close. I remember you saying that, but you was close.
I might have said those words, but not went in detail. But yeah.
So does that mean like if you just got a strap, you got a strap, you just can't come in unless they got fingerprint?
Yeah.
So that's probably why all these Trump niggas was able to come into the Capitol with all these guns. So not to deviate from them, if he knows to pretend or not, but when they was all storming the Capitol, they all had a picture, whatever they had in their heads. These niggas had what? Guns, pepper spray. What did they have? All of the above, and they still made it through. Was they afraid? Was it because they had the numbers?
I think that's the case, but I also think that's not.
It's not an excuse. I understand. I'm just saying, trying to relate now to what I'm sympathetic because of the way Rob came off on 10 at him. I was trying to be.
Yeah. I don't think they were prepared for it at all. But at the same time, how can you?
Like they human, bro. They want to go home too. Like they in DC, don't shit really pop off.
Bro, those niggas probably pop up there, and they probably thought they were just gonna protest. They didn't think they were gonna storm the fucking Capitol. That's some crazy ass shit.
Yeah. So they was over there probably trying to just get back.
What's crazy is about it. The DC mayor, I believe that the mayor don't have the right to call in the actual National Guard because it's a
district.
Yeah, district. It's a district, not a state. So she was asking for it. She was asking for that, like the neighboring places to call it for it. But eventually, I think eventually Virginia and somebody else was like, okay, we'll send it in. Like we'll send them in. But it took forever. It took forever.
They got pushback at first. They were pushing back. The Maryland governor said it himself. He's like, yeah, I tried to send them the first time. They called their general. He was like, we're getting pushback. You gotta wait. Well, I mean, think about it, man. Think about it. Why would he get pushback? Who's the general?
Trump.
Come on, bro.
But like I said, bro, it all comes back to Trump. It's kind of. I mean, I know everybody.
He knows what you did. He knows what you did.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's I don't know.
The worst part is
I'm still waiting for.
They're acting like they're victims. That's the worst part of the whole situation. They think they're victims.
Well, the shit was stolen from them, bro. Why would you steal the victory from them? It was in the bag. What's his name? Not Kumo. Giuliano.
Oh, Giuliani.
It sounds like some kind of Italian dessert.
Giuliani.
Whoever custard he was told him he had the shit in the bag, and he listened to that horse shit. And here I am without my refund check or my stimulus check still.
I don't know, man.
I can't do it, but I do want to shout out to the social media who have blocked Trump on every one, Facebook, Instagram. Shouts out to them for doing the right thing.
Is it? I feel like I think that's like literally taking somebody's freedom of speech.
To me, morally, I think it is right, and I do want to pose the question: is it something that they are able to do because it does take away their freedom of speech? I think because I'm, anti-Trump and all that bullshit, that it is a fantastic and wonderful thing. They should have done it earlier. It would have saved so many lives. But we live in the real world, so.
Actually, you just brought in a good question. Actually, a really good question. I'm about to go even deeper. So that's a good question. since Rob is low key, Rob, go ahead, go ahead, because I know you feel some type of way about this.
Go ahead about what? The freedom of speech thing?
Yeah, like them getting blocked from all these social medias.
No, so here's my thing. I don't. Even if you think somebody, the reason they said that they took him off the social medias is because he was stating false information and putting lies on his Twitter and stuff.
Yep.
But is it? I feel like it's more political than it is actual. What do you call it? To do the moral right thing to kick him off Twitter. I think it's more political than that. I think it's just like a what would you call it? A Trojan horse.
What are they?
Huh?
What are they getting politically?
What do you call it? Not propaganda. People's what do you call it? You're dictating what people see in the media, which is automatically going to be something negative. So you can kind of controlling people's behavior in a way.
Okay. So in layman's terms, they are making him look like the bad guy, so that way they
correct.
see face.
So I'll put it like this. I put it the same way. Did you watch wrestling when you were a kid? Okay, so whenever time there's a wrestler, there's a baby face and there's a heel. There's a bad guy and a good guy. And for the commentary team, there's always like a baby face and a heel, a bad guy and a good guy. The babyface commentator is going to be on the side of the babyface, and the heel commentator is on the side of the heel. No matter what they do during the show, they're going to take their side. That's how I feel like political media is.
I feel like, well,
I'm one-sided on the media intake I take. I'm not gonna lie about that. I don't watch all of it. Some of it's just I don't understand. But
I don't know, man. I think them kicking off their platforms, though, they're companies. They're just companies. They can do what they want. Am I wrong? They can do what they want.
No, I think
no. So yeah, same thing. You can't do what you want. To say that you can't do what you want. If there was a sign outside your business that said whites only, your business will get shut down because that's racist. You can't do what you want.
You're absolutely right. But if there's somebody inside of my business saying whites only should eat here, and I removed them from my business, people would love me, and it would be the right thing to do.
That's more. Yeah. I agree with that, 100%.
But my point, my argument would be he wasn't saying whites only. He was just saying shit. Which in theory, that's what Twitter's for. If you can't make up shit on Twitter, what else?
That's true.
Like, I have a question. If Darren started saying lies on Twitter, is he gonna get banned?
No, Darren also don't got nuclear launch codes and can entice a riot at the snap of his finger. That's the only problem. But I do agree it is impeaching on his right to freedom of speech. However, if I was a guy who made Twitter, or if I made LAapp.com and you could shorty on it, whatever, and you was texting some wild shit, I would be like, no, you're off. You cut off. You're not on this no more. And what you gonna do about it? Go talk to him in real life. Go say that shit somewhere else. Not here. It's my shit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's not coming here. So
yeah, I agree with that. You got the right to kick somebody off, and I would too. Like that, just as much as they got the right to freedom of speech, they don't have to have freedom. They don't have to have your platform to do that. That's the way I look at it.
If somebody was out in your street talking reckless, talking about F the police, I'm gonna shoot the police, and then he come in your house somehow, and he got blueprints and bombs and shit. And he's like, let's go do this to the police. You gonna be like, yo, get the fuck up out of my house.
I'll be like, you got a second vest?
Get the fuck up out of my house. You don't know. I'm not about to go bomb shit.
We just learned by our amendments, but we got the fourth, and we know by now you can kick that guy out. You got the right to protect your crib. Oh no!
You're not getting very far.
But they also said the big tech companies are gonna get restrictions. They said it's possible that like Facebook and all of them started they're gonna start getting hit, like every single one of them.
What type of restrictions?
They're saying some of Facebook.
They got fact checkers though, right?
Yeah, but it's not only that. Like they said, every company, Google, Amazon, everybody's about to start getting restrictions. Like,
How you gonna restrict
I
Google?
don't know how
Amazon's gonna stop.
like the dude that was talking, he's like, yeah, I don't know how you get Google because they're just a search engine and they just do their job really well. But their workers,
Google's more than a search engine.
yeah, but they're the best search engine.
Huh?
They're the best. Not only that. So, dude was like, yeah, I'm not saying I don't like Google. I'm just saying like they have too much. They have too much power in what they're doing. They're monopoly. Like what other place
But
use
I'll
besides
give you. Who you talking to?
both of y'all?
It's,
Oh, you can turn your head. I was confused.
I'm on this side.
Okay. Keep going. My fault.
Is Google a company or a brand though?
It's a company.
It's because I thought Google was not actually Google, but was a company called ABC or something like that. And then Google's just like the sub company of that.
So I know what you're talking about. Hold on, give me a second.
Like I thought Google was just the brand everybody knew, but they changed
So
the structure.
the parent company is called Alphabet Inc.
There you go, something like that.
So they probably own Google and they probably own a bunch of other shit, but they probably just own Google and there's like a bunch of shit under.
So Google's still a company.
Yeah, it's just like separate. It's just like under them.
Yeah, that's a rich motherfucker out there somewhere.
It's the same niggas who own Google that own the shit.
Bro, but they saying all these tech companies are about to start getting hit. Amazon, Facebook. They're just saying that most of these are acting. And honestly, Facebook and Instagram, because Instagram is Facebook. Every time I do look at it, I'm just being honest. It's acting as a monopoly. They acting as a monopoly. Any new app that comes out social media wise, they adapt it to their app immediately. Like immediately. It is crazy how immediate they get. I literally broke it down. Wait. I literally broke it down. It started with what was the first app? Twitter. So they was like, all right, we're gonna give you more status, diverse your status stuff. You can put different stuff in it. Then it was Instagram. I was like, okay, bet. Now we're gonna buy Instagram. I was like, all right, so now y'all got Instagram, cool. Then TikTok recently, they got Reels that literally look like TikTok. It literally looks like TikTok. Stories. Who started stories? Snapchat. They literally took stories and put it in their app, in both of them, Facebook and Instagram. I'm telling you, something's up with it. I can't tell you exactly what, but every new social media popping, like they got Clubhouse too. And Clubhouse just started, popping up, and they literally got it too. Like you can start a room with anybody, like
just randomly.
yes. Like if
That's
you on
crazy.
that,
So
on Facebook, it literally says create room, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, for the longest, I'm like, what is this? Like what is this? Like, what are you doing this? And I never clicked on nobody's name because I'm not just about to randomly click on somebody's name and be like, create room. But somebody's like, yo, it's the exact same thing as Clubhouse. I'm like,
I don't think that's a monopoly, Darren. I don't think either of those two that you just stated were a monopoly. Actually,
it's a competitive advantage. Like you're taking too much. You're taking from every company and taking and putting your own when you already have more subscribers than any one of those already.
Yeah, no, your definition of monopoly is wrong.
No, that's not. No, look, the reason why I'm saying monopoly is because that's the same thing that they hit Rockefeller with back in the day. This is all the same stuff that they're hitting with. They said, hey, you did competitive stuff in the market that like really disadvantaged, like crippled your other your competition. When you
I mean, that's business.
But you can't cripple your competition.
So what did he specifically do?
Rockefeller was taking the train, like he bought the train tracks. When he bought the train tracks, the oil companies, he's like, yo, you can't get your oil on my train tracks at all. So they couldn't get them out, like get the oil out. So eventually the oil company had to sell the oil to him. So now he owns a whole nother plant, and now he's putting that inside the train track.
So make the connection between that and Google.
I don't know about Google. I can't.
Okay, do the Instagram one then.
I just know the workers are complaining. I just know Google is just powerful. Like, and I don't get me wrong. I like Google. There's nothing to me. I don't got a problem with it besides them listening to me a little too much. But
so here's what I would say about your whole monopoly thing. If there's another form of competition that's available, but the only reason that the company is winning is because people like it better, I don't understand how that's a monopoly. Because there's other options compared to
Apple, baby.
Google. There's Firefox and shit. Like, yes, Google is better and it does work better, but there's other options out there. And to your Instagram thing, if you're taking from what somebody's doing and putting it on your app after they come out, just to make your app better because you have more shit on your app, and they only had that one thing to pull you in, that just sounds like good business to me. That just sounds like smart. That's just smart to me. I don't see how that's a monopoly. It just sounds like you might become a monopoly one day, possibly, but I don't see how that's a monopoly right now. If that option is still open.
Throw that with the okay, cool, but throw that in with the he got called into the Senate recently to speak.
You talking about Zuckerberg?
Yeah, like
because a bunch of them got called in.
Yeah, anti something.
Facebook.
Yeah.
That's Zuckerberg.
Anti something, anti-discriminatory something. Anti-discriminatory. Yeah, for Facebook. I want to say that was what it was, but you throw that in and then false information on there on top of it, it's gonna add up. It's gonna add up. And all I'm saying is technology has been booming the past 20, 30 years in our lifetime. Our whole lifetime.
It grows exponentially.
In our lifetime, it was crazy, right? We have our laptops, smartphones,
phones with more memory RAM than what they used to go to the moon.
Flat screen TVs are everywhere now. They're not just in somewhere. They're everywhere. All I'm saying is with the technology boom, with all these companies that are making money off of it, eventually there was going to have to come a day, and there is going to come a day where they're going to have to abide by some new laws. Not that they're not going to be able to still make money. They're still going to. I'm not saying if they're going to ever be able to limit Facebook to not make money, because they're going to do it. Google's still going to make money. Amazon's still going to make money. I'm talking about just legit restrictions, because even the workers, we've seen the workers complaining at Amazon asking for more money. We've seen Google's employees have been complaining. But I'm saying, in general, if these things have been happening, eventually they're going to hit these companies with something. That's how our government is. That's how they was back in the day.
Not even when it comes to workers, but when it comes to technology, like with this facial recognition shit that's on phones, you're gonna have to find a way to regulate that. You're gonna have to figure out how they're storing that in databases. Is it just on your phone? What's in the cloud? There's gonna be more regulations coming forward as technology progresses.
What's that? Eric Snowden.
Oh, have you watched his interview on Joe Rogan? Those are amazing.
I have not.
You should check them out. They're honestly really good.
I feel like I've seen part of it, but if you really if you really think about what he's saying, he's just talking about how we're being spied on. That's how it started. Now it's just it's more. They got more.
Are they listening to us right now?
Okay, though.
That's wild. They're not listening to nobody, man.
Back to it. First Amendment.
So with the Capitol again, with these Trump supporters, where do they come from? Was the rally at the Capitol?
Yeah.
Where were they coming from?
They're coming from around the country.
They came from all around the country, because the one who was in Pelosi's office got found in Kansas. He got arrested in Kansas, right?
They started arresting a bunch of people.
Yeah, another dude got found.
But the main one, what's his name? Big O, the one who left the quarter and took her envelope for.
Yeah.
What do they call them? Big O or Big Ups or Bigums? Some country ass shit. And that's my spirit animal for 2021. I don't give a damn what y'all say. Fuck Tiger King is all about him. That's good.
one dude that had the podium in Florida, I think, Florida or Arizona.
If you could ask those people 3 questions, what would they be? Go. You got 20 seconds. Go.
My first question would be, was it worth it? How much jail time you think you about to get? And what you think? Would you do it if you was black? That's one. Like, would you have done it if you was black?
Cool.
Even if you-
I would ask them why Trump. I would definitely ask them, was it worth it at the end of the shit? And my third question would be like, do you just not like black people, or are you like afraid of all black people? Like explain your racism to me. That would be my 3 questions to them.
That's a good one. Rob, what you got? That's a hard one. That last one.
Hey, bro. Gotta throw curveballs. Is he still here?
No, I'm here. So I don't know what I would ask. Honestly, bro, I wouldn't talk to those people. I'll probably look at them, give them like a stank face, and probably walk away.
But let's say you at the gates of heaven, right? And you with this crowd of people for some reason, all of them are just right next to you. And to get into heaven, St. Peter was like, you gotta ask these niggas 3 questions. What
I'll be like, fuck. I don't know. Let's see. I would be like, I like Darren's questions, but I would probably I would think about it.
20 seconds.
Just like why, bro? Like why, bro?
Yeah. Of all things you could have
like, what made you think storming the Capitol was like an okay thing to do?
You could have.
I got a good one. Bro. I got a good one. I would ask them first if they think the black people during the George Floyd protest, if they should have been shot at.
Oh man.
And I would ask them about their opinions on that. Then I'll ask them, do you think that you guys should have been shot at today?
You got one more.
If Blue Lives Matter so much, why did you guys kill 5 cops?
Boom. There it is. Ooh.
That's true.
If you were in their shoe, how would you answer them questions?
What?
If you was them, how would you answer his question?
I'm too lazy. Not lazy, but I'm not. Even if I'm like, let's just say I'm a white person somewhere in middle America, like Kansas, and I support Trump.
Don't even just say white people. They say it wasn't just white people.
I just be on
I
just want my stimulus, bro. I was like, nah.
Yeah, Daddy Trump just gave me some bread. I'm in here.
Shit, niggas like, bro, this is the first time I get it. Like, this is like, I'm still looking with him. All I needed was a hat. Nah, if I was just somebody in middle America that supported Trump, I would never go to any rally or anything like that. There would just be no point. I would just be like, man, at the end of the day, here's just the pure simpleness. You got the right to vote. If you lose, shit, you lost. If we would have lost with Obama in the second term, black people would not have rioted. No, not just black people, true. But people would have not just rioted unless it was legit a problem with the count. Now they do have an argument with that because of what's happening in the pandemic. But here's the thing. That's why you get out there and what's it called? Protest. Rally. Yeah, campaign for the person. You campaign for the person. And if you lose, you lose. Shit.
Dude, honestly, bro, they just got out campaigned this year. They got out campaigned hard this year.
Because they were spending millions of dollars on dumb shit for the campaign.
Well, I don't think it was even that. They were like promoting that shit. They were telling people to vote on like the NBA and shit. They had that vote shit everywhere, bro.
Bro, and then with the Black Lives Matter protest, it was over with. But I think it would have been crazy for you to go down there and try to protest. Because at the end of the day, in America, we know one thing: it's a competitive country. We doing a podcast, we competing with other podcasts, right? That's the truth of the matter. If you lose, you lose. If you lose, you lose. You can't be mad at the person. You can't be mad at somebody else and be like, yeah.
Guess what happened?
I lost. All you can do is like either I'm gonna go back at you, or I'm just gonna Bow out. What are you gonna do? Yeah.
So what about the people who aren't necessarily, the people that we saw storming the castle? Not the people in the bearskin, tatted, painted face at the Capitol building. What about the people who are sitting in the Senate, that are sitting in Congress, that are sitting in other high places of power, that have been complacent, that have been supporting, that have been improving? What about
It's sad
these
that
people?
this was the final straw. It's sad that this was the final straw.
It
Yeah.
came to this. Now you get fired. Now you get fired and can't get no job nowhere
It's
else.
sad it took this to be the final straw. That's what I was saying.
That's how it came down to. How much time we got left?
We got about 20 minutes.
We got about 20 minutes. Top five, top five?
Oh, so we're doing top 5 albums of 2020?
Let's do this.
We can do
Let's get
top
it.
five albums.
Darren, go first.
But I wanted to wrap up that one with the people who have been complacent, the people who have been supporting, the people who have been behind the scenes, the people who have been pushing, the people who have been pushing this rhetoric. These people, do they get jail time? Do they get marked as pariahs in society? What happens to them? Because when Nazi Germany fell, when all those people who were doing horrible things, who they claimed it was right,
You
what
still got
happened
the
to
right
them?
to support Trump, but what he did was wrong.
Was not wrong, was treasonous. Was the exact
So, like, I agree
definition
with
of treason.
Rob. As soon as you get that far that you're literally like they gotta point guns at you, you gotta shoot. Like, it's not to me. You don't draw a gun and not shoot. You got pictures of them literally like holding guns at the door. Because if you're doing that, you need to know like you're doing too much. Like how else are we going to calm this crowd down? And I don't like to say it like that, but it was wrong. You're right. It was treason. I think it's the most like I said, it's the most unpatriotic thing I've seen in my own lifetime. Like there's
From the highest place of power in the United States government. It's crazy to think about.
they put them there. People put them there.
It's crazy to
It's
think
crazy.
about.
The first one of the first conversations I've ever had about Trump, because I don't have a lot of conversations about Trump. I try not to. But one of the very first ones was I was at work and I was talking to somebody. I'm never gonna say the person's name or anything like that. But they were literally talking to their husband.
Write it on a piece of
They were
paper. I
talking
want
to
to
their
know.
husband. They were talking to their husband and they were like, "Yo,
I will call them personally
they were
right
gonna
after
vote for
this shit.
Trump. They were gonna vote for Trump."
I
Like,
swear to
I was
God.
like, "Why?" And it was like, and then we were in a discussion. And like the last thing that his lady said to me, she was like, "Well, don't you think things need to get worse before it gets better?" That was like the
No.
one statement that's never stopped in my head. And like always, like, dang, y'all wanted this. Y'all wanted 4 years of just pure chaos. For what? Like, or what? Did y'all think it was going to get to this point, or did y'all just? What did y'all want? Like, because it truly it can get better, but we don't know at this point. It could have just.
So, Darren, you know what this is?
Go ahead.
This must be an M. Night Shyamalan fucking movie. 2020 was the surprise twist. I'm done with this shit. No.
You know what this is, Darren? No.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how they say when you're dating that after you break up with your girl, you go for something the complete and total opposite.
Complete and total
That's what
opposite.
America is. They go with the complete and total opposite. We had Obama, a nice guy, a nice guy, clean cut, spoke well. What's the exact opposite of him?
Trash. Garbage fire.
And what's the exact opposite of Trump?
What they call it in Trailer Park
But-
Boys? Water
We
garbage.
can keep this conversation going, but at the same time, I don't agree with that an 80-year-old person, 70-year-old person should be running the country. But the way that we're moving with technology, do you really think that 80-year-old person should be running?
No, I feel what you're saying. I can't wait till that AOC chick because it's eligible to run for president, and like
I like her.
she should be 35 in like 4 years or something. I can't wait till she runs for president.
Fantastic.
Right.
I want her to run young too. I want her young before she's 40.
So at least we all agree with that, because that's the one thing I agree with.
Hey, man, I got it off my chest.
All right, so let's go ahead and move it to the top 5. Rob, you gotta take it off.
Okay, want me to start? All right, bet. Do you want me to put this in order?
What type of order?
Five to one.
Go ahead, just name them real quick.
Just name them. Okay, I got Pop Smoke's album. I got Little Uzi's album, specifically the deluxe and the regular version. Both were crazy. Little Durk's album. Machine Gun Kelly's punk rock album.
Interesting.
And Artist 2.0, A Boogie, his album.
I was rocking with you in the first half, Coach. Then you mentioned MGK. I don't know. MGK lost all respect to me after Eminem put him in his child's booster seat and drove him to daycare and left him there.
MGK won that though.
I refuse to listen to anything else. I refuse to listen to that. MGK won it?
MGK won that battle. Eminem's response was low-key kind of trash.
Oh my god. I don't know.
Like, if you want to argue, hold on. If you want to argue that Eminem's a better rapper than MGK, everybody knows that. But MGK's diss hit harder than Eminem's. His punches just hit harder.
I can't. I don't get me wrong. I know like 3 MGK songs. But he can't. He can't. The way he was talking reckless because of a mention in the album that had nothing to do with him. He wanted to come at them.
Eminem went at Snoop on his latest album, and Snoop heard it, and they asked him about it because Snoop said something in an interview about Eminem. So now these two are like having these stuff. So I'm just like,
everybody know what it is. You don't want no beef with Eminem, nigga.
Let it go. And same thing with Eminem. He should just let Snoop, like Snoop should just let that shit go. It don't matter. Neither one of them plays.
Man, I need a verses right now. New shit right now. No. Okay, I give it to you with MGK. I haven't listened to the new album. So I shouldn't judge things I don't know.
I promise you, it's the I don't like punk rock. That shit sounds different, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna write it down right now. This is not a fake pencil neither. I'm gonna write it down so I can listen to it later. I'm not listening
to it unless he gives me the stamp of approval to listen to it.
It's gotta be Bubby. What's your top 5, man?
Okay, so.
Hold on. What was Rob's top 5? We gotta make a tally. You said Pop Smoke?
Yeah, Pop Smoke, Little Uzi.
Eternal Take, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
Eternal Take. Okay. Little Durk.
Durky, baby.
MGK. And A Boogie.
Yep. All right, who you
got? So my first one. First off, my list goes first off by what I listen to the most throughout it. So my first one would be The Weeknd's After Hours. That shit was jamming. Like The Weeknd is probably first off I can go on a tangent, but that man is probably, he's the greatest. Like he's my favorite artist in the past 10 years. Like I can even debate that he's a rapper. Like that's how good he is. Like,
he's on my 25 top most played on my Apple Music. I'll give it to him. He's on my
he just be jamming. I don't know why. So that Revenge of the Dreamers 3. When everybody made the director's cut, my word, that was crazy. That was just crazy. Like I can name everybody on there, but everybody, those sessions never like no time went to waste. That's what I feel like. No time went to waste.
How was that? How was that in 2020?
The director's cut.
The director's cut was that's fair.
I thought they made another version.
Yeah, they got like 5-7 extra songs.
I think it was like 8.
Yeah, on top of the deluxe.
Big Black Truck, pull up and hop up and do all your
shit. Billy Truck. Yeah. They be moving in that bitch, man. That was my honorable mention. If we was doing honorable mention, that was my honorable mention.
21 Savage. That's Savage 1 2.
Hey,
Good, bro. I don't even need to say much, but yeah, Childish
He
Gambino,
literally might win a Grammy off that album.
bro. I really hope so too. Like that, like he already got one, but that album actually might really be deserving.
What album Bino dropped last year?
3/15/20. It's
What
called
album did he
3/15/20.
drop? I don't know.
This said his last album debatable.
No.
Like debatable, don't get me wrong, because of quarantine, everybody be working, so you never know.
Shout out to Childish Gambino. Drop another one for everybody. Man. We like drop another one. Mental health is crazy. I get it. Everybody struggles with everything, but drop one for the people.
That shit is dope. I think there's only one song on there that I just don't fuck with. But besides that one song, everything else, I can't even knock the context of the song and where it's placed. Because where it's placed is like it's just a great sequence. So it should be. It's called 3/15/20. It's just like a white cover. But that's one. So where am I at? 4. Then my last one. This one's gonna be different. I want to throw that Pop Smoke in there, but you already said that.
You said you did want to put the Pop Smoke down?
I did put it in there, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna say Mick Jenkins, The Circus. It was a short little EP, but that joint was going.
Oh man. That's your top 5?
Top 5 of 2020.
All right. So far, we got a lot of albums. Mission was definitely what you said was Dream Chase, not Dream Chase.
Revenger's Dreams.
There you go. Got me fried over here, man. I've been listening to Meek Mill too much lately. But mine, you gotta give it to Lil Baby My Turn. I love that album. Him and 42 Deer. Them boys we paid, that was my song. All year I've been listening to that album.
They said it to me like earlier in the summer. He was like, yo, Lil Baby don't miss. I was like, what? And I was listening to it like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And like that. I was like, you ain't. I was like, this one person. I was like, you ain't never lied to me. I was like, that one statement. I was like, you don't lie. I know you don't lie at that point. They were kind of.
You remember the song? You remember the song? Watch How We Move. Watch How I Move. Watch How I Move. Anyway, it was the song made by a man called Flip De Niro, and it had Lil Baby in it, but everybody know Lil Baby part. Just saying.
When you start taking over people's songs, you know what it is, man.
He about to be on Weezy level in like 4 or 5 years. Mark my words right now. Mark my word. I love all the babies. I like the baby, Lil Baby, all the babies.
They doing their thing.
I have a question for y'all when we done then.
All right, go ahead. LA. Go ahead.
And then I got Savage Mode 2. I got Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon by Pop Smoke. I got Dark Lane Demo Tapes by Drake. Gotta put Drake on the list. And I got High Off Life by my main man's, my spirit animal, The Future. Mr. Hendrix himself. You know how the man's rocks with him. And that's all I got for 2020, guys.
I think that's interesting to put the Drake's album on there. I thought that was like kind of like mid.
I like what I rock with everything on that, man.
I like Time Flies and what's like that I'm Outside and the AMG. That's Time Flies. That's
you got the Chicago.
That's crazy. That's gonna be a legendary song. Like that's gonna be a legendary Drake song. I don't think people even know that. Like Chicago Freestyle is gonna be crazy.
Drake said, "Here you go."
Nah, you know what the song? What's that one song he did with that other dude? That was right after that. Oh, it is Chicago Freestyle. That's what you're talking about. Okay, we talking about the same shit. That song was amazing. Homie killed that shit. I mean, when I showed Darren that shit, Darren Star was like, "Yo."
Fire.
Oh, good.
Hey, that should be the outro song.
I downloaded all Homies albums when I heard that shit. I was like, oh, I never heard nothing like that before.
He got a new EP out. He got a new EP out. There, Still the Best or something like that. Still your best. Fire. It's fire when you get in bed with your lady, put it on, and turn the lights off, turn the heat on, put your socks on, you'll be right.
That's a vibe. That's a move. All right, yo. Rob, what you said you had a question?
I have a question. All right.
Yeah.
So I think we can pretty much all agree for this past decade, we have three kings: Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. Right.
The Weeknd.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll say the Weeknd too.
Right. Who do you think's next up? Who's going to run the 20? Who's going to run this decade?
I'm upset you didn't even mention Wale. You said three kings and you didn't mention Wale.
I'm saying like the Weeknd too.
I'm hurt.
I think they're in a different tier that like nobody can touch. At least not in this generation. This past generation.
I think the Wale and the Weeknd are both in that tier as well.
I don't think they touch them. I look at Drake and I look at those two as like kind of immortal.
Nah, not to see the same thing with the Weeknd. The reason why I say this is because this dude started making a totally different form of R&B, and everybody started taking it. Wale.
He remixed Dirty Diana and it wasn't trash like the new one.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Early in the 2020s, bro.
That was early. That's when he popped out. He got the stand from Gucci Man, not Gucci Man, from I'm Trippy Man. Who that? Juicy J. He got the stand from
He said the Weeknd music make a girl. What? Yeah, man.
I'm telling you.
Nah, bro. Like,
to answer your question, who I do think is next, I like trap music. So I like Dirks. I like the Lil Durk. I like the what's the one nigga? Let me use my phone.
I don't know if we found them yet. I don't know.
So I think we have.
You got Playboy Cardi. You got all these young
I don't know if we
niggas.
found them yet, y'all. I think the closest thing is probably Lil Baby.
Harlow,
That boy spit.
Jack Harlow, that boy can spit. You got the baby. I really like the baby. Oh, you
Or who got the
2010.
2020s? No, he said he got the 2020s.
He said the next generation.
I don't know, man. I don't think we found him yet. I think Lil Baby's the closest thing, but I think, yeah.
You got Uzi still. Uzi still got time to grow. He, get shit.
I think Uzi's a superstar right now. That nigga is huge, and he's putting out good music too. Oh my god.
You got Big Sean just got, he got time.
I consider Big Sean with them.
I'm saying, but he's got time to come back out with some heavy hitting shit.
You think his better times are in front of him instead of in back?
I'm hoping so because I hope Ass wasn't his best song.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's his best song right now.
At all.
The number one on the billboards is not Ass.
Oh, it was a huge song, but you got Nicki was on that shit too.
Yeah.
Was that not his number one song? Though?
Yeah.
But was that not his number one?
I see what you're saying. That's his most popular song. That's not his best song.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, Rob, how much time we got left?
Like 2 minutes.
Can we take him home? I feel like I can keep going on this topic too.
All right. Well, then if we got 2 minutes, we can go out with number one Michael Jackson song.
Ooh, shit. Ooh, shit. Hold on. Rock With You.
Oh my god. It's still right now.
Nah, it's got to be Dirty Diana, baby. Michael Jackson was hurt. He was hurt when she was going crazy.
Dang, that's a hard question. On top of my head, I'm throwing a movie video on there and going to remember the time.
Remember
the time when there was an Egypt?
Like, bro, that shit was jam, bro. Even the dance, you could just do that little.
It had what, Eddie Murphy?
Rest in peace. Yeah, you was in that too.
Who just died? Oh, I thought you said Eddie Murphy just died. I was about to say close this. You gonna tell me that's from Martin Luther King Day?
That is not breaking news. That is not no. That is fake news. That is fake news. Devo, rest in peace.
I gotta go to sleep. Oh man, that is also sad though. That is also sad. Rest in peace. Man, my heart rate up. My watch just told me my heart rate up, bro. Like,
all right, Rob, yo, take us home, bro.
All right. Thank you all for listening. This was the Purple Pill Podcast. We see y'all next time. Peace.